The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Quit talking might have quit on the Vancouver Canucks, but that doesn't mean he's quit on the guys in that dressing room.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs. That guy is Kyle Bowen. This episode brought to you by FanDuel. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. Right now, the Canucks, not many people are placing bets on them having success, but people are placing bets potentially on them trading some of their veteran players. And one organization that may be interested in Vancouver Canucks players is the Philadelphia Flyers. Elliot Friedman talking about that today. The Rick Tocchet connections there. The Philadelphia Flyers also up there in the standings, although I would say that might be a little fraudulent based on the way that they've actually been playing. But what I want to do is look at, could Quinn Hughes be a fit for the Philadelphia Flyers? Which other Vancouver Canucks, which of Tocchet's favorites, could also be going to the Flyers? Let's get into that and more on this episode of Locked On Canucks. But first, Kyle Bowen, back from the center of the universe. How you doing, brother?
Well, first of all, I got to say, Vancouver's a much prettier place than Toronto, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Okay, say less. We don't know if Drake is watching this episode, and I've listened to Drake's music, and I'm scared of Drake, so I'm gonna stop there. All in all, though, the Canucks, Philadelphia, Rick Tocchet, and Vancouver's players, there's connections, and now there's rumors. And I know there's a lot of obvious guys like the Garlands and the Sherwoods and whatnot. Even some rumors of Elias Pettersson, right? But can we just go and start with Quinn Hughes when it comes to this conversation? Please? Can we do that? Because
yeah.
I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about that enough based on, him going to New Jersey, obviously, and maybe like the amount of capital it would take to get Quinn Hughes and how some teams might be scared of that already. And a team like Philadelphia that's on the come up, are they ready to commit that much to a player or that much for a player that may not extend? So there, again, might not be a bridge there to walk over. That being said, I think if you're any hockey team, you take that chance, trading for a guy like Quinn Hughes, bringing him into the room, giving up everything for him this season for a crack at the playoffs and for success. And if it doesn't work out, when it comes to a contract extension, you trade him next year. For real. That option is available for all teams, and all teams should consider it. And on that note, the Philadelphia Flyers should consider it too. And I was thinking, if you're a Canucks fan, and if you're Alvin and Rutherford, I look at a trade involving the OKC Thunder. This is NBA logic, okay? The OKC Thunder and the LA Clippers made a trade years and years and years and years and years ago involving Paul George. Paul George going to the LA Clippers, OKC giving up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Sorry. Paul George going to the Clippers, and the Clippers giving up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and a bunch of first-round picks. Like an amount that is like unfathomable, okay? And it kind of burnt LA big time in the ass because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the best player, and some of those first-round picks, they may turn out to be like top-end first-round picks because the Clippers suck because they went through injuries and all that jazz, and Paul George didn't even play there for a long time. And the next thing you know, OKC got the top prospect who turned out to be the best player, and they got like a lot of top 5 picks. If I'm the Canucks, I'm going to Philadelphia, knowing that Philadelphia may not be able to extend him, and I'm asking for like the 2028 first-round pick, the 2029 first-round pick. I'm asking for the 2027 first-round pick. I'm not that hungry for the 2026 first-round pick that you may get from the Flyers. And Trevor, you just alluded to the fact the Philadelphia Flyers may be a quote-unquote fraudulent team. Maybe they're not as good next year. And we've already seen a not-so-good team employ Quinn Hughes and still be one of the worst teams in hockey. Oh, yeah, that's the Vancouver Canucks. And you try doing something similar to that. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that how Colorado got Cale Makar? Is that how Colorado got Cale Makar, or was it how Ottawa got Tim Stützle? Like I forgot, it was one or the other.
It was I think you're thinking of Tim Stützle with the Erik Karlsson trade.
I just look at Philadelphia as a prime candidate where it's like they may be hungry to make the playoffs now, think they have a good hockey team. You give them Quinn Hughes, and the next thing you know, they're not that good of a hockey team, and now they don't even have their their first round pick of 2027, outside like that first round pick this year, even in a deep draft, it's not the sexiest thing coming back in a Quinn Hughes trade. I think it's like your top prospect and a boatload of first round picks. And I think it's appealing for other playoff contenders this year not to give up their 2026 first round pick and still acquire Quinn Hughes, knowing that they can then deal that pick somewhere else and get more. So there's a lot of strategy here, but just don't throw out the idea of Rick Tocchet and Quinn Hughes reuniting.
Yeah, we all know how much, Rick Tocchet loves Quinn Hughes and vice versa. We know how much Quinn Hughes loves Rick Tocchet. And again, for a team like the Flyers, who I think they started the season, 14-7-3, I believe is their record. Again, I think underneath the hood, there's some cause for concern there. I like the idea of buying future first round picks. Like in 2026, like, can you get, 3 to 4 first round picks for Quinn Hughes? I mean, look, you've seen guys like even, like a Braden Hagel go for 2 first round picks. So not a lot of people even knew who that guy was. Quinn Hughes, you got to absolutely hit a home run here. And I think it would be collecting a bunch of futures. Now, when it comes to Philadelphia, the Rick Tocchet connection is there, a team on the rise, adding an elite piece. There are reasons why it could work. I do have a hard time seeing the Flyers paying the highest price for Quinn Hughes. If they do, I think that's a team you got to target. Again, get those first round picks in the door from them. Just, take all their first round picks, right? But I do wonder if another team is going to offer more for Quinn Hughes based on the fact that you might only have him for 2 playoff runs. And are the Philadelphia Flyers winning a cup in the next 2 years, even with Quinn Hughes? I'm thinking probably not. I think Danny Briere probably.
No, but dude, you do have a chance to impress him. You do have a chance to bring him into a practice facility. I mean, the facility, my bad.
An actual practice facility. Wow.
And then show, any team, like, you can't just give up. You trade for Quinn Hughes and it's like, okay, he's going to his brothers in New Jersey. We only have him for a year and a half. How about you just impress the puck out of him and then give him the biggest contract ever before the CBA is different? It's in the middle of September where you can't give him the 8th year. Like, there's still a chance. And again, if I'm any team, we're talking about, I know we're not talking about Connor McDavid, but we're talking about Quinn Hughes. Like, you take that chance, you give up everything for him. And if he's not impressed and he doesn't sign the extension, you do what the Canucks are doing right now and you get a boatload for him next year. It's not going to be as much as the Canucks get for him because you're not having him for 2 playoff runs. But look at how much, like, I know it came with the contract, but look how much Dallas gave up for Rantanen. And Carolina made a huge trade involving Rantanen, and they didn't have the contract extension in place. Like, you could still get a lot for Quinn Hughes if he doesn't sign the extension. And you give up a lot to get him out of Vancouver this year. And if you're a team that wants success in the playoffs, or again, just wants the chance to get this guy in long term, you're giving up a lot for him. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I think the thing with Philadelphia making a run at him too, Kyle, is let's say the Anaheim Ducks were a team that made a run at Quinn Hughes, right? Like, if Quinn Hughes doesn't resign there, like, obviously that was a mistake. But I think with Philadelphia, it's 3 hours. It's a 3-hour drive from New Jersey, right? Like, even if he's not with the Devils, he still lives a lot closer to his brothers during the season than he does in Vancouver as well, right? So the fact that he could see his brothers more out there, the relationship with Rick Tocchet, and Kyle, like you said, 2 years is a long time, right? Like, what if the Devils don't figure out their goaltending and have a bunch of injuries? Like, a lot can happen in 2 years as well. Again, I'm a little hesitant that Philadelphia is going to be that team that pays the most for Quinn Hughes. But I think Quinn Hughes would certainly be willing to give it a shot with it because of his relationship with Rick Tocchet and based on the fact that it is a team on the rise and based on the fact that it's a team within the same division as his brothers where he could see them with more regularity too, if that's something that matters to him.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it'd be a pretty cool thing for the Hughes family too. Like, if there's, a brother bowl in the playoffs, right? Like, I think that would be something that all of them would have fun with, even if they're on the same team.
Yeah. And maybe like Quinn Hughes, part of the reason why some of us think that, there's a chance that he may sign an extension here. It's like, maybe he likes playing in a pressure cook environment. Like, he wants to be the man. Philadelphia has that sports like culture, like, that's bigger than Vancouver. And maybe he would embrace that and want to be a part of that lineage. All in all, though, like, we got to talk more about, like, I know we got to talk about like more prospects that Philadelphia may have in other types of trade proposals, but I'm going to read a comment. Shout out to all the commenters. And then, Trevor, I just want you to, I know I'm going to put you on the spot, big time reporter, and sometimes you don't want to look bad because this is actually what you do for a day job. But what would the trade actually look at like the specifics, okay? Let's look at this comment, then Trevor's going to make his prediction. Okay, Ryan Thompson saying, do it right now. Mitchkov, Cam York. I think it's like what's this guy?
Porter Martone, yeah.
Porter Martone and 2 first-round picks. That seems like a lot. This may sound stupid and crazy and a lot. I love Michkov, but something's scaring me now where it's like, yo, should we just get Martone instead of Michkov? Should we get like 2 extra first? I don't know. All in all, though, Trevor, you make the prediction. It's Quinn Hughes going to Philadelphia. What do you want?
Yeah, let's take out Michkov and put in another first-round pick. I mean, look, Martone's going to cost a lot too, right? Like this guy was 5th overall or 6th overall in the draft this year. Big body, like projects to be like an all-star physical winger. Like when I think of the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander reference that you brought up, Kyle, I mean, that's a guy who wasn't a first overall pick, but went on to be an absolute superstar. I could see Martone in that same light. And the Cam York one makes logic, a little bit of cap changing hands as well, similar style to Quinn Hughes. But I would go with that deal. York, Martone, and 3 first-round picks. I mean, again, Martone's going to have high value, like even more than a future first-round pick. And again, let's take their picks in 27, 28, and 29. You know, let's just milk them for a number of drafts here. I mean, look, it's going to be a fascinating trade just because we've never seen it. We don't see like Norris defensemen don't get traded, right? But something in that realm, I think, is probably what you're looking at for Quinn Hughes.
And Trevor, just raising my hand to say this, and Canucks fans, just like hold on to this. And I know this one's going to hurt because it's the truth and the truth hurts, but also there's a lot of optimism in this statement as well. I think it's best for the Canucks to take advantage of a middling team that wants to give up a lot for Quinn Hughes because the proof is already in the pudding. Just because you have Quinn Hughes on your team doesn't mean you're going to find success. Like Quinn Hughes has been a Vancouver Canuck for a very, very long time, and we've sucked. He's a part of that equation. So like, trying to get the most out of a middling team would be priority number 1, as opposed to just like getting the most from anyone / getting the most from like a competitive team. Like I'd be, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd try manipulating the situation and just being like, you know what? Let's not give him to a contender. Let's actually like give him to a team that still might not be very good. Like, oh, they're in the play. Everyone's in the playoffs this year. That's what it feels like. So I feel like, you know, they're even saying the same thing about Detroit. Okay, so like rinse Detroit, get a bunch of first-round picks and pray that they're not good. Even if Quinn signs an extension, they're not good. Yo, you give them to New Jersey. Like New Jersey's not bottoming out. Like I know it can happen to any team, but realistically speaking, for years and years and years and years and years, the Devils have been a playoff team. They're going to continue to be a playoff team with or without Quinn Hughes. You give them to a team that doesn't historically make the playoffs over the last 10 years, but may be good this year, then you're cooking because I feel like, again, there's a 20% chance that same team's going to suck next year with Quinn Hughes in their lineup, and now you got another lottery pick. I'm doing it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know in the comments, if Quinn Hughes goes to Philadelphia, what do you think the return is? And right now, I think we're putting out suggestions that probably are a little lofty, but again, you got to shoot high for Quinn Hughes. This is arguably the most important trade in the 55 years of this franchise, Kyle. Man, oh man. And will Alvin and Rutherford even be the guys to get the job done? Maybe that's something else we should touch on either later on this episode or later this week. For now, we got to shout out a couple sponsors and be back on the other side here on Locked On Canucks. Oh, baby. Let's shout out our friends over at Drip Drop. Okay, Drip Drop, and you don't stop. Okay. When I'm hydrated, everything just works better. My focus, energy, mood, below the belt, even my skin and my foreskin. What? That's why I've been using Drip Drop. It's doctor-developed hydration that keeps me running at full power, no matter what my day looks like. And Drip Drop is not just your average sports drink, all right? It delivers 3 times the electrolytes and half of the sugar using a science-backed formula trusted by medical professionals, firefighters, and over 90% of top college and pro teams, all right? It's the ultimate hydration. Wake up, Drip Drop, and I don't stop from there. Let's go. Right now, Drip Drop is offering Locked On Canucks listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNHL. That's dripdrop.com, promo code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Stock up now and keep your mind and body performing at their best with Drip Drop. Oh, yeah, baby. And you know the deal. We got to shout out our friends over at Doer. If you're not doing the Doer yet, what the hell are you waiting for? Because the Doer, they make the best damn jeans in the world. You can wear them out to lunch. You can wear them at a fancy event. You can wear them at home. You can even sleep in these jeans, okay? Because they're the comfiest jeans in the world. They got 5 times the stretch of traditional denim. They're antibacterial, meaning your jeans stay fresh for longer. So if you don't like doing laundry, slap on the Doer, baby. Also made with Cool Max energy that regulates your body temperature and wicks moisture below the belt. Woo! No one wants sweaty junk, and Duer, it helps with that. Simply put, Duer makes the best damn pants in the world without having to sacrifice style. Trust me, once you try them on, they'll be your go-to. And you can check out Duer here in Vancouver at 1757 West 4th Avenue. Mention our promo code Locked On Canucks in store to get 15% off your first order, or you can check them out online at duer.ca/LockedOnCanucks for 15% off. That's duer.ca/LockedOnCanucks.
Okay, we back doing this, talking about your Vancouver Canucks and reading comments. Again, here on Locked On Canucks. Okay, before the break, we said, make up the trade proposal. Quinn Hughes to Philadelphia. What would it cost? We got Roma saying Michkov, Martone, and 2 first is dreamland. You know what? There was also somebody saying getting both Martone. Okay, we're not getting Michkov and Porter together. People are saying that. That's impossible. And I'm like, really? So we're talking about Quinn Hughes here. We're talking about Porter Martone the third, or whatever this guy's name is, who hasn't played an NHL game yet. And we're talking about Michkov, who came into camp this year out of shape, quote unquote injured, and he's got 14 points in 24 games. Really? We can't get both those guys in a couple first for Quinn Hughes? You know what I'm saying? Like, raise the standard. And, if I'm Alvin and Rutherford, I'm starting with the most. I'm starting with the most of the most, Trevor.
Yeah, I think every GM and every team situation is a bit different too, right? Like, you look at the Philadelphia Flyers, and they were forced to trade a top 5 pick in Cutter Gauthier, and look how that worked out for them. So there's going to be hesitation for sure to trade guys like Michkov or Partone, who has 10 goals in 14 games in Michigan so far. He's tearing it up. Yeah, I think if you got more Martone and multiple firsts, you'd probably be doing pretty well. I think Cam York's the guy that just makes sense, because how many smallish left defensemen can you have on your team at the same time? So that's why I kind of look at a York, Martone, and a couple firsts. I think if you're the Canucks, you do pretty well if that was the return.
Dude, Trevor, the more and more we think about it, and again, you just mentioned the size thing, like Quinn Hughes being a bit small, Cam York being a bit small. You can have 2 of those guys on the same team. The more and more I keep thinking about that sentence, Quinn Hughes has played a lot of hockey, and he's been a big part of a lot of Canucks teams. And I know it's not his fault because he plays on a middling team, but again, there's a good chance that you trade Quinn Hughes to a middling team and you still end up a lottery team. And the Canucks could be cooking here with the Quinn Hughes trade. Anyways, more comments in a few minutes. Trevor, let's get to the quote unquote truth. Okay. The real stuff that we're hearing involving Philadelphia and Vancouver. Can you elaborate a bit?
Yeah. So I think Elliot Friedman's saying that, basically there's Philadelphia's a team to watch when it comes to the Vancouver Canucks potential fire sale here, because Rick Tocchet obviously likes a lot of guys on that team. And look, I'm kind of curious about the guys themselves, because no one's been named in the report. I know Sherwood is kind of tossed out for every team right now. I think Rick Tocchet liked Kiefer Sherwood. I don't know if he was Kiefer Sherwood's number one fan. It took him a long time to start playing him at the lineup for the Vancouver Canucks. One of Tocchett's favorites to me, and I think this is an interesting guy to watch, is Connor Garland, right? I think Connor Garland, again, before that no move kicks in, or the new contract kicks in, any team could have him, right? And when I think about Tocchet favorites, those guys have been the ones that have had a long, long relationship going back to his time in Arizona. Played the wheels off of Garland last year. It did take him some time, but he really did come around with Garland. So I think that's probably the first guy I'm watching on this Canucks roster if there's going to be a potential Flyers Canucks trade here. And in terms of some of their younger players as well, I know Jack Nesbitt was a guy ironically drafted 12th overall in this year's draft. That would have been the Canucks pick, I believe, if that makes sense somehow, because it was the 12th. I thought it was the 12th overall pick. Maybe it was the 13th that when they dealt that first from the Rangers back to Pittsburgh. But anyways, it was right around that range where they could have drafted Jack Nesbitt if they just kept the damn pick. And I know they got Jet Luchenko as well. He's a first round pick. He's gotten a cup of coffee in the NHL. I think he's more of a third line center. But again, Kyle, for me, I'm more interested in collecting first round picks. I think you and I probably feel the same way on this one. You should be able to get a first for Connor Garland. He's on a good deal. I know sometimes he gets the disrespect around the league because of the size right now. But to me, Connor Garland, when you're talking about things that could actually make sense for Philadelphia and the connection to Rick Tocchet, Connor Garland for me is the first guy that comes to my mind.
Yeah. And Connor Garland, a versatile player. Connor Garland also a bit of an injury riddled player this year for the first time in his career. Like, he's got to get healthier and like boost up that trade value if the Canucks are truly going to get something for him. And you would think that Philadelphia, out of all teams, would probably rate Connor Garland fairly as opposed to other teams, because we've admitted, Connor Garland is a hard player to judge for NHL scouts unless they're like, again, going to every single Canucks game. That's just the truth. Like, it's he doesn't scream star player on the box score, what ultimately does matter. But again, this guy's a play driver. He generates power plays. He makes people better around him. He distributes the puck well. He digs pucks out of every single corner imaginable. Like, he's just such a good player. And again, there was some fear for me trading this guy because I feel as if, right now, people would probably give you less for what he's worth, and the Canucks need to squeeze out the most out of every trade. And again, I'm scared of trading Connor Garland, but Rick Tocchet knows, and they're good pals too, man. They appreciate each other a lot. I'm just more like, should Philadelphia be trading like young players? Like, they just started getting good. Like, why don't they just ride the course? And like, if you're trading any picks or any young players, it's got to be for a bigger package for like Elias Pettersson or Quinn Hughes. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? And I like Connor Garland. I like Connor Garland a lot, but he's just not the player I'm going for if I'm a middling team. No, that's just me. Like, if you're one of the top teams in the league, like, imagine like Connor Garland playing with Nathan McKinnon or something, or Connor Garland playing on Utah. Like, I don't know, but Utah's a little middling too. But just like Philadelphia, I'm not convinced yet. I'm just not convinced. And yeah, just that's I rest my case. Like, Tocchet also has the Tocchet fatigue too. Like, how good are you next year? No, that's another thing I want to talk about. Like, the Tocchet fatigue is a real thing until it isn't. And if I'm Daniel Briere, I'm just very, very safe. Like, at least if you're trading for Quinn Hughes, you can trade him again next year and still get a lot for him. If you trade for Connor Garland this year, maybe you can still trade him, but there's no trade kicks in. It's a bit harder, right? So that's just my 2 cents.
I mean, Philadelphia's got a little ways to go till they're a legitimate team. Despite the hot start. I'm just looking at the Rick Tocchet connection, and look, I think they need more guys like that in their lineup, but how much they're willing to pay, I think that's the real question. In terms of the other guys who Tocchet really loved, a couple of guys with no move clauses, right? It's like Brock Besser. Tocchet really did like Brock Besser. He really likes Tyler Myers. But both those guys, I think, like, would either of them want to waive the no move clauses to go to Philly? I guess it depends how much they liked working with Rick Tocchet. And then a couple of the other UFAs I know that Tocchet really loved too, and it was Derek Forbort and Teddy Bluger. So again, we're not talking about sexy returns by any means, but those would be a couple of guys I think I'd be watching too.
I would be scared. Again, I brought this up. Let us know in the comments. I'm scared if this sounds crazy, okay? We truly are tanking. Like, we're one of the worst teams in the league. I don't even think we're tanking. We're not even trying. We're just a bad hockey team who employs a couple of bad players, and we get injured, and we also just play some bad players a lot of minutes. I think that if the Canucks trade Evander Kane for nothing, we're a better team. And I'm pretty sure if we trade Tyler Myers for nothing, like, I think we become a better team. And I'm scared of becoming a better team, to be honest. But again, what would you get for Tyler Myers? A third, a second?
I think you could probably. I think when Luke Shen went for a third,
okay.
You could probably get a third for Tyler Myers.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Teddy Bluger, you're probably lucky if you get a third. That's probably more of a fourth. Like, again, you're not talking about sexier trades. You're not talking about the real meaty stuff.
Trevor, Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas. December 1st. We're already here, man. This is not what I want to do, but we're already here. And I'm just letting the fans know right now, for the rest of the week, the rest of the couple weeks, and ironically, we got this comment from let's press the button and then read this comment. Yeah, I'm gonna read this comment and just like schedule out the rest of the Locked On Canucks for the rest of the year. Okay, look at what Nuxies, is that how you say his name, is saying. Okay, he's saying Hughes is staying, and the fact that you guys are talking about this so early shows how weak we actually are. Yep, we're weak. And speaking of being weak, this week we're talking about trades all week long. Okay, So come here for the rumors. Come here for the fun. We're going to talk about the Christmas gifts we want from our girlfriends and wives too on this show, because equality matters, and we should be getting gifts too for some nice gifts. And stick around, because we're gonna have a lot of fun here. Locked On Canucks, Begsy and Bowen, trading everyone.
Oh yeah, baby. I think my question to Nuxie, and again, appreciate everyone always who comments here on Locked On Canucks. For Quinn Hughes, I think the question I'd ask is right now, why would he resign here? Right? Like, unless you're convincing himself that, he just loves nature, man, and loves the mountains and all the stuff, and, pride of wearing the sea. Look, the Canucks are a bad team. The GM has admitted that he wants to play with his brothers. I don't think it's grasping at straws here to think that this guy, there's a good chance that he's walking out the door, unless something changes drastically, Kyle. Will things change drastically? Find out next year on Locked On Canucks. All right, man, before we get back to the show, let's shout out our friends over at FanDuel, baby. And man, oh man, Kyle, I got a tip from Mother Knucker that you're trying to get people to root for the Green Bay Packers in the why are you pushing the Green Bay Packers on everybody else, man?
Okay, let me talk about it, but not on an ad break, because I actually want people to listen to this ad read. Shout out to FanDuel, but I want people to listen. So let me explain myself at the end of your ad read, okay?
All right. Well, FanDuel, whether you're betting on NFL, NHL, NBA, whatever it is, make sure you go check out FanDuel, and especially NFL Sundays, okay? They move fast. One big play and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds, every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. And my Seattle Seahawks got it done again on the weekend. You should just, especially when they're playing against a no-name quarterback, just bet on the Seahawks right now, baby, and bet on the Seahawks when they face the Green Bay Packers in January. Let's go, baby. If you want to be right in the middle of all the action, visit FanDuel.com. Place your live NFL bets all season long on FanDuel. The game moves fast, and so can you.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. Can you do us a favor and hit the like button? Give us a 5-star review on the podcast platforms. Again, Trevor, I'm always right, and I've been saying Christmas is tomorrow, and guess what? Christmas is tomorrow. We need all the support, okay? Comments. Okay, in response to Nucky saying that me and Trevor are weak for spending this week trading Quinn Hughes on Locked On Canucks, NGK with the comment of the year, okay? He said, Quinn Hughes is still in an apartment. He's out of here. Boom, bam, do the math. No, for real. If you had a family and stuff like that and settled down and even had a partner or whatever the kids are saying these days, like, maybe there's a chance, right? Right? Just like the Brock Besser thing. But, like, yeah, Quinn Hughes is still living in an apartment. He's probably paying rent, to be honest. No, I'm being okay.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right, man. You're probably right.
NGK is one of the smartest guys. Like, everyone's a smart guy in the comp. Like, we're all Canucks, and we're all idiots for choosing this team, but we're all smart. And NGK is one of the more intelligent ones. Speaking about being intelligent, okay. Again, Mother Knucker in the comments saying that Kyle is trying to make everyone a Green Bay Packers fan in the Discord. Join the Discord. Trevor, I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling kind of lonely out here, and it's kind of depressing in the Discord when all we do is talk about trades and not the games. Trevor, honestly, I wish the Discord was like, damn, I'm still dreaming about that second period we played last night. I wish it was like that. No, I wish we talked about hockey, but again, we cheer for the Canucks, and we live in assumption and bullshit nightmare. Like, this is crazy. I'd rather get stabbed by Michael Myers 18 times than cheer for this damn team. For real, that was dark, but that's the truth. Where am I going with this? Oh yeah, the Vancouver Whitecaps are playing in a championship final this weekend against Lionel Messi. Like, this is a big deal. This might be one of the biggest weekends in Vancouver sport history. And as a diehard Canucks fan, a diehard Vancouver Canucks fan, I'm not going to front. I'm scared to watch the game with the boys this weekend, the Vancouver Whitecaps game, and hop on that wagon because I don't want to bring that bad voodoo there. So I don't like. That's why I'm like, yo, in the Discord, should we choose a new team on another sports league just to like talk about? Because it'd be too. I'm not saying like choose a new hockey team. I'm talking about choose another team in another league. And the Vancouver Whitecaps got brought up, and I'm like, I don't want to do that to them. That's kind of dark. If the Canucks fans all become Whitecaps fans and like just to feel something, and like, what if we lose? Like, are we gonna burn down BC Place after? Like,
Well, I know the south side is pretty rowdy, but no, just hop on the bandwagon, man. Come on, I hopped on the bandwagon. Nothing bad's happened. Yeah, and look, honestly, if they lost to Lionel Messi and Inter Miami, like it's been a hell of a season. Don't expect the Whitecaps to even be in the playoffs. Inter Miami is still like a heavy favorite.
Thomas Mueller. Listen to Thomas Mueller, Trevor. You're supposed to be a winner, and look at even if we finish second place, it's all good. We had a lot of fun here. Yeah, it was a great time. Soccer for the first year soccer was played in Vancouver. Yeah, we had fun. We didn't win, but we had fun. Come on, Trevor. Come on. What are we doing here?
It's just the truth, man. It's just the truth. Whether you like it or not. I mean, it's been a great Whitecap season, no matter what happens in this game. I think it's all gravy, man. No one expected Melo to be here. No one expected this team to make the playoffs, and here they are. And
Trevor, it's not gravy. It's not all gravy. You win or you lose. Like, it's a good season if you like. Well, actually, no. You know what? I take that back.
Come on, man. You're letting your Canucks fandom get the better of you, man.
I'm just saying it's not all gravy. I don't think you should compare the championship to like gravy. It's actually the ultimate goal. But I will say this: whenever you make it to the finals, unless you're the Buffalo Bills making it to the finals 4 years ago in the early 90s, it's a great season. Okay, you're right on that. Anyways, can you run the goats of the week in like 2 minutes? Because like I don't want to do this, and I want to talk about Christmas because you need to help me out with my Christmas shopping, okay? Trevor, go to the week.
All right, let's rip through the goats of the week, the best 5 Canucks from last week. 3 games, 500 AF, a win against Anaheim, a loss to the San Jose Sharks, and an overtime loss to the Los Angeles Kings. And Kyle, this might be the first time this player has ever ended up first, but I have Filip Hronek as the number 1 goat of the week. The steadiest of all Canucks this season, tied for the team lead in points this week, picked up 3 apples on the week, almost never gets scored against when he's on the ice. He's rocking good expected goals for, on the ice for 3 goals for, 1 goal against. He's just been such a steady, it's been kind of, like he's quietly been remarkable for the Vancouver Canucks. So shout out to Filip Hronek. The number 1 goat of the week. I have Willander at number 2, man. Just really impressed by Tom Willander. He's the guy that's been standing out to me most games. Of course, we're watching him because he's a rookie. He's the future. But he legitimately looks like he could play second pairing minutes out there right now. And hopefully he takes over Tyler Myers there soon. So Hronek, Willander. Then I have Quinn Hughes, number 3. Max Sasson at number 4 on the list. A golden assist against Anaheim. Honestly, I thought he had a good week, made the most of his ice time when he was out there. And I have Elias Pettersson in 5th. I really do not like his game against Los Angeles. Played pretty good in the other 2 games, and obviously that's the goal of the year as well. So those are your goats of the week.
That was the goal of the year so far. That was incredible. You know how you say it's the goal of the year? Because I'm like, you know how much he had to do on that play to make that all happen? I think he'll never be able to replicate that play ever again. That is just the truth. And again, this is why I'm so pissed off at the Canucks already being out of it, because it's like we can't appreciate shit. Like we can't even appreciate. I know Elias Pettersson's not like ultimately like all the way back, but Trevor, the progress has been there. Like if the team was better this year all around him, like we'd be in a playoff spot. Like Elias Pettersson is almost back. Like he falls down a lot, but that's science. That's biology, Trevor. Okay, we're not all built like you, 5'8", 240 pounds, all muscle. Okay, come on, bro. Next comment. Oh man,
you don't want to see my flexing photos, man. At least you got good flexing photos, Kyle. With me, it's a different story.
Yeah. Anyways, Mike's saying this show is called Unlocked Canucks. That's actually a good one. If we have to like pivot and do a lot of trading and talk about other stuff, I'm down to do that. Mother Knucker saying you can't have poutine without gravy. I don't know if that's true or not, because the other day I made poutine instead of gravy. I used ketchup. So ketchup, cheese curds. What? What?
I don't know, man. Like it's such a downgrade, man. It's such a downgrade. Gravy to ketchup. What the hell is wrong with you, man? Dude, that's coming from a guy who wanted to eat a U-shaped hot dog, man. You got some weird food taste, man. I don't know, man.
The U-turn. I was gonna eat. You know what? I'll put this. You know what? Bring that thing back up, Trevor.
Yeah, it's the DP dog.
The DP dog, the U-turn dog. If the Canucks ever win 4 straight this season, hold me to it. I'm gonna make this hot dog and eat this hot dog in 2 bites.
In 2 bites.
Hey, Trevor, you say, hey, Trevor, man.
Where's the other end going, Kyle?
No, you can practice, man. No. Okay. Where am I going? Speaking of practice, I've been dating a girl for a long time here, 4+ years. Is this Christmas number 4? I can't even do my math correct, but
I think it's number 5 for you, bro.
Is it? Yeah, we dated for 5 years. So this, I don't know how to do math.
2021, bro. It's easy.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst. I'm one of the worst Christmas givers out there. That's okay. We live in the most expensive place in the world, and I have a podcast about the Vancouver Canucks. When the team sucks, like the show is not economically doing well, which is okay because I'm not here for the economics. Okay, I'm just a fan. Just letting you guys know that's why my girl gets love and appreciation and non-materialistic things for Christmas, and thankfully she's a good person. Okay. That being said, I did ask her what she wanted. I was like, just let me know what you want. I'm gonna work my ass off to go get it. And now, I'm gonna be DJing a Christmas party at Science World in a couple days. So again, I'm working overtime. Okay,
man, let's go.
I'm working overtime to get her what she wants. But on that note, I do want to surprise her with something and not, just give her everything she wants. Cause a little bit of thought goes a long way. You would know something about that. So what should I surprise her with?
My first thought was the DP dog.
like she does like hot dogs. Me and her could.
Then you can just eat it Lady in the Tramp style,
Oh, eat the hot dog on both sides?
Yeah.
Damn, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of cool. That could be romantic. But just honestly, Trevor, this is why. Can we?
Okay, I got one word of advice for you. I'm not the best gift giver ever. I'm lucky. I've been married for as long as I have. I once gave my wife like 5 candles for Christmas. I'm like, a little bit of variety. No, it wasn't like the main Christmas gift, but I gave her 5 candles for Christmas. And I saw Kyle posting about avocado candles and Dr. Pepper candles on his other channels, and just only get her 1 candle, man. If you get her more than 1 candle, you've made a mistake. I don't know. I don't get the best gift ideas either. How about some Vancouver Golden Eyes tickets, man? That's what I want to get my family. I ain't getting the Vancouver Canucks tickets, but go check out our friends over at Game Time and get some Vancouver Golden Eyes tickets. That's the deal right there. Okay, I don't know if Kyle's coming back, so I'm going to wrap up here on Locked On Canucks. We got to get out of here anyways. I'm Trevor Beggs. That guy was Kyle Bowen. If you like what we're doing, share the episode with a friend. Like Kyle said, you can like and subscribe on YouTube on the podcast. Go follow us. Leave a 5-star review. Check out our sponsors as well. If any of that interests you, helping out our sponsors helps them keep coming back to us, all right? One love to you and you. Happy Christmas month, and we'll catch you next time here on Locked On Canucks.
Your Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.